Did you get IRS Letter 6577C in the mail? It's often called the ERC Clawback notice. In plain English, the letter is saying, we think you got money you weren't supposed to get, and we want to get it back. And they're giving you 21 days to respond. If you claim the Employee Retention Credit, what most people call ERC, happened back in 2021, this notice could be headed your way. And if it shows up, it's not just another letter from the IRS. It's a notice you really need to pay attention to. So let's break this down. What is the letter 6577C? Why are people getting it? What does it tell you to do? And most importantly, what are your options if it shows up in your mailbox? So 6577C, it's really just a proposed adjustment. It's not a final bill. They mean the IRS audited your ERC claim, and usually they look at your quarterly payroll tax forms like your 941, and they've decided something really doesn't match. Maybe they think that you overstated your payroll wages. Maybe they think that your business wasn't qualified in the first place or eligible. Or maybe their computers just didn't see all the details that actually make you eligible. And that's probably the case. But it's not a final bill yet. It's just a proposal. They're telling you, we think you owe this money back. Number one, tell us why we're wrong. Or number two, pay up. And they give you 21 days to respond. Now you might be wondering, why is this coming now in 2025 when a lot of the ERC claims were made in 2020 and 2021? Well, the IRS got behind. They got way behind. And they got buried in ERC claims, millions of them. And while a lot of businesses legitimately qualified, there was also a cottage industry that got set up. Pop-up ERC mills promising everyone free money. So the IRS started smelling the smoke, and now they're going back and reviewing claims with a fine-tooth comb. And if that's you, boy, I feel sorry for you. And because the ERC payments were often large, sometimes six figures, the IRS is under a lot of pressure to show Congress that they're policing it. So let me tell you about a restaurant owner that I helped out in Florida. She sent me a lot of claims because they filed for ERC. Florida had partial shutdowns, they had reduced capacity, but they kept people on the payroll. On paper, everything checked out, but when the IRS pulled the payroll numbers, it looked like the employee count was lower than it really was because turnover was high. It's the industry where, servers quit. In the middle of a term, cooks quit mid-year, hosts left for other jobs. So the IRS computer didn't see the full story. It just flagged it because too many wages for too few employees. That business got a 6577C letter saying that they owed back tens of thousands of dollars. But when we pulled the actual payroll records, the W-2s, the state filings, we proved the IRS snapshot was misleading. That's the kind of detail you need if this letter lands in your mailbox. The 6577C letter is short, but it's intimidating. Basically says, we think your ERC claim is wrong. Here's the amount you need to pay us back. You have 21 days to respond or we'll start collections. And at the bottom, it gives you A or B. Agree and pay or disagree and explain why. And that explaining why is where most business owners don't know how to start. You can't just write back and say, I disagree. You gotta show payroll records. You gotta show copies of your 941s. Maybe some executive orders from your state governor that prove that you really had a qualifying shutdown. And that's not easy to pull stuff together in 3 weeks from 4 years ago. Here's the worst thing that you can do with the 6577C letter. Stick it in a drawer and hope it goes away, because it won't. If you don't respond in 21 days, the IRS will treat your silence as agreement and they'll move forward to collect. That means assessments, penalties, and eventually, they're gonna file a lien and they're gonna levy your bank account. So that clock is short, but you do have rights. You can challenge it. You can ask for an appeals hearing. Now, in some cases, you can preserve your right to take it to U.S. tax court by using that appeals hearing, but you have to act fast. So what can you do if you get a 6577C letter and it's in your mailbox? Here's a few options. You can always just agree and pay. If you know your ERC claim was a little shaky and prepared by one of those pop-up ERC shops, sometimes the best move is to settle quickly and avoid bigger penalties down the road. Or if you think you have a case, you could disagree with documentation. If you really did qualify, you need to pull your payroll records, your PPP forgiveness records, your executive orders, anything else that might help you prove your claim. A little more aggressive stance, where I like to go, is to request an appeals review. If the IRS isn't budging, appeals can take a second look. This is often where I step in and make sure that your case is strong. If you want to say, okay, game on IRS, you might want to preserve your U.S. tax court rights. What I'm talking about here is things escalate, and they escalate quickly. You want to make sure you don't miss that window if you want to eventually take it to U.S. tax court. And that's where my USTCP designation comes in handy. I mean, I can handle your case from the beginning to the end. Or you can rely on a tax attorney. If this sounds like what you find yourself dealing with, or what you're worrying about, don't wait. Reach out to us at besttaxpro.com. Even just a consultation can save you from missing that 21-day deadline and getting steamrolled by the IRS. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay connected to this. Now, I've been representing taxpayers for over 20 years. I've seen a lot of IRS programs come and go. This one is different because of the speed. So normally you get a 30-day window, sometimes 60 days, but with the 6577C, it's 21 days. No extensions, no excuses. I've also noticed that the IRS isn't really clear in those letters. They don't tell you exactly what triggered the adjustment. You have to dig. Sometimes it's a wage issue. Sometimes it's a PPP overlap. Sometimes it's just bad math on their part. That's why having someone who's worked through audits and appeals matters. You need someone who knows the IRS system and what to look for. And that might be me. So here's my advice. If you think you might get one of these letters, or hey, maybe it's already in your hands, gather up your records. Payroll, W-2s, 941s, PPP loan documents, and then don't wait for the IRS to tell you what's missing. Respond on time. That 21-day window is firm. Even if your records aren't perfect, get it in. Last, obviously, get professional help. This isn't like answering a late notice on your car tabs. It's serious, and the wrong response can lock you into paying tens of thousands of dollars that you probably don't owe. I know it's stressful, but the sooner you act, the more options you really have. If you got a 6577C letter or worried one's on the way, don't freak out. You don't have to face the IRS all on your own. You've got options, and I can help. I help people with this every day. My name is Josh with Best Tax Pro. I'm available for representation. We'll talk through what's going on, look at your records, and figure out the best exit strategy moving forward. If this video helped you, or if it helped you understand the letter, give it a like. Drop a comment. I hope this has been helpful.